Howdy. Today is not a build video, it's more of a discussion video. Not like a serious discussion, but just sort of like, I don't know, random, not really random sort of stuff. Specifically, why I do Simulacrum, because over the course of the past few months, right, from when I started 4 months ago, like really making YouTube videos, I've had a couple comments here and there, especially, critics is too nice, but we'll just use that, right? Critics, kind of people, that were upset that I do most of my videos in the Simulacrum exclusively, and I don't show stuff like in mission a lot of the time. I have been with all of the max investment videos, and I do with some other videos occasionally, but pretty typically I mostly just stay in the Simulacrum, and there is a reason for that. Now, when it comes to showing stuff in mission, okay, it's a lot harder to explain and go over all of the mods and stuff as opposed to just doing the Simulacrum. So I can't just do the mission itself, right? Just the mission. I'm always going to need the Simulacrum stuff to be able to explain and show what I'm trying to get at, right? Like what I'm doing here. Just, it's so much easier that way. So if I try to do in-mission stuff afterwards, it really draws out the time length of the video, and generally speaking, people do not like to watch super long videos. So people don't usually watch the whole video then, and I can view my stuff on YouTube Analytics. The videos also tend to do worse, or at least when it's like a weapon video. If it's a longer video, they don't do nearly as well compared to like, 15-minute videos. 15-minute videos do a lot better than half-an-hour videos when it comes to a weapon build or like just showing off the weapon. Now, if that was the only reason, I would just do videos in mission too. But there's a couple other things that combine in that. Now, another one that would not exclusively make me not do missions, but I just don't have a lot of time, right, to just always spend excessive amounts of time recording long-ass videos in mission in the Simulacrum. So that's one of them. But the main reason is that it's just, most of the time I find it pointless. Because a lot of the, like 99% of the time, when I make a build or do a video or something, despite what some people might seem to think, I do test it quite thoroughly, right? Like most of my builds, I've tested that build itself on the weapon or whatever for at least like 10 hours and in high-end content, okay? I'm not just gonna like, oh, I just randomly had an idea for this build, slap it together, and then I'm testing it for 5 seconds in the Simulacrum mid-recording. That's not how I do stuff. I've already tested all of this stuff and used it and made sure it works exactly how I think it works. And 99% of the time it works outside the Simulacrum exactly as I show it does in the Simulacrum, right? It always plays out how I expect it to. There are cases where it doesn't, and cases like those are why I test stuff still, right? Like, in the past, Atlas, okay? I'm actually going to be doing an Atlas Max Investment video soon once I get the router, but I've had a couple of Atlas builds in the past a few months ago where I was like testing out stuff and it didn't work out as I was hoping it would, right? In mission compared to the Simulacrum, or at least specifically in Void Cascade. I imagine the build would have worked out in most content normally, but in Void Cascade there's just too much moving around, not enough killing, so the energy sustain and survivability consequently because of that was not as high as I would have liked it. So it didn't perform as well as I was really wanting it to. But that is one of the few cases where it didn't perform exactly as I expected it to. Now, I know that's going to kind of sound like I think I'm like a big brain. I'm not. There are way smarter people in this game than me, and smarter people that make videos. Like, I swear people probably think I'm riding this man's dick constantly, but A's and Invasions, that guy's like, massive PP big brain guy. My favorite Warframe YouTuber. But he's got much bigger brain than me. Now, it would be a lot easier to show stuff in mission if I was actually able to edit stuff, but given my current setup and how I have things, and on account of also being broke and not being able to get anything, I can't really edit stuff right now. So I'm literally just recording and doing basic trimming with the built-in PlayStation software. and you can't even record stuff that's longer than an hour. So I can't just trim stuff around like other people can, right? I don't have the ability to do that. So that's a bit of a yikes. So all of those things combined makes it so it's like I just why should it go waste a hefty amount of time and then make the video drawn out so that then people can see it perform exactly as it did in the simulacrum, just for me to also then have the video perform very poorly compared to other videos. There's just no logical reason to me showing everything in mission when it's not necessary. Like, this recording of the video was right after I recorded a Bronco Incarnate video. I don't know if it's gonna really, I don't know if it's gonna be posted before or after this, but that's besides the point. But the Bronco video, I've used Bronco Incarnate. I've been using it a lot lately, and it performs exactly the same in mission as it looks like it does in the simulacrum. It's a very straightforward weapon, as are most weapons. Usually the only things that really need to be shown that they worked well would be like the stuff in the max investment videos, because there's a lot more going on there, right? Like Ember, for example. When I did the Ember max investment video, I really needed to be able to show that in mission, and it worked out perfectly in mission, right? But that sort of thing, there's so many moving gears and stuff that you really need to prove it all goes together rather than just hoping it does, right? Because, like, there's the companion, if it's going to consistently group, if you're going to proc manifold bond enough to reset Cordon, if it's Cordon's going to not suck them to an annoying spot, if it's actually going to prime the right guys, if you're actually going to manage to get Heat Inherit going, stuff like that, right? Like, that's why I think with the max investment videos, it's very important to do stuff in mission. But with general weapon videos, it's just not really something I can do or something that's worth my time. Again, though, if there's ever something I feel is needed to be shown in mission, I will do it, always. But most of the time, that's just not necessary. Now, if in the future I have a different setup, like let's say I move to PC or something, and I actually can like trim stuff properly and edit stuff, then maybe I'll try to like work in some in-game gameplay, like near the end. Similar to how... like, okay, Lazar, he always, like, shows the build of Simulacrum and then shows Steel Path gameplay at the end. Or Asian Invasions, he, like, weaves in Simulacrum footage in between gameplay footage or something. I could try something like that in the future if I ever get to the point I have a setup capable of doing that. So we'll see if that ever happens, but for now, that's just not doable or necessary, I don't think. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk about that and, you know, why it is I mostly just do Simulacrum stuff. So, I don't know. I guess leave your opinions or something in the comments. That's going to do it for the video, though. Adios.